Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings with your host, me, a punk, Lawrence. Most people don't call me a punk because that just wouldn't make too much sense. Be kind of stupid now, wouldn't it? Wait, most of you guys do. Anyway, let me know if you guys can hear me. It's always a gamble. I'm always wondering, although I do see the little boom, 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 boom when I'm looking at it. So anyway, I guess we got a lot to go through. I got my trusty show notes here. Um, so I'm glad to see that some of you guys are still joining me. I know there's another competing faction that decided to go live today because they couldn't yesterday. So I'm hoping that we're still able to get a pretty decent crowd tonight. Anyway, I also want to tell everyone thank you very much who joined me on Articulated Chad's live stream. Last Thursday, we jumped on live to talk about all the reveals of the GI Joe. The 4 reveals of the GI Joe Classified. I don't know. We're gonna be going over them. We're gonna be going over them. I'm trying to think of everything right offhand. I probably have them sitting right here. Yeah, the Snow Job, Scrap Iron, the Steel Record, and then the Televiper and the Flight Pod. Though I don't know, I'm still waiting to see that Target exclusive Dr. Mindbender with Trouble Bubble. I believe it's the Canadian Target exclusive. And before anyone says Canada doesn't have Targets, that's the whole joke. So anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? Looks like it's starting off pretty good. Streams have been doing really well. Thank you guys. Thank everyone for showing up. So let's start getting into some of the people that are already here. We got PNC Games and Things in the house. He is the one that you can thank for me singing Sky Striker in Flight, Afternoon Delight. I don't sing too often, if you can't tell. We got Daredevil Dave in the house. Everything always seems to move so slow. I got to look over here because everything seems to come up much quicker on the actual side. We got Matthew Matson in the house. This is the moderator. Listen, we don't really have any issues right now with anybody, but hey, as we grow, we know we're going to get the sex spots, and that's when we know we've made it, guys. When we hit the sex spots, we've made it. But he has the hammer. He knows exactly what we want going on in the chat. If you guys start getting out of line, he's not going to ban you, but he's going to give you a timeout. And after a couple timeouts, you guys are gone. But hey, we haven't had any issues. So, but no, what he says goes. We got BMW Rhino from Southern California. Probably nicer than it is here, but hey, I'm not going to complain too much. Here in Michigan, it was like 37 degrees. No, it was everything melted here. McClattig, you know what? I'll get your name right one time. Eventually, I will get your name right. We got Digital Diarrhea in the house. Hey, look at it. I hate when I do this. Right, I don't do it. I just lost the stream. If anything starts bugging out, please let me know because it seemed to be wigging out while I was waiting to start. So we got Digital Diarrhea in the house. Thank you again for being a channel member. And there it goes. Luckily, I can look over here. I'm going to see if it wigged out or if it's just on my side. We got DJ Fevish in the house. Handsome head injury. See, I keep having to look over here, and everything's kind of wigging out on me here. New York Night, Will R, Logan, Keith. All right, you know what? We already got 30 people. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. I'm not going to keep going on. I'm already rambling on. You all know who you are. Thanks, everyone that is in the house right now. All right, so let's get into some stuff here. Geez, there's a lot of guys here. I'm impressed. I have to pat myself on the back here. Now I got to figure out how to get your name off here. Hide the current comment. So anyway, Anyway, like I said, I did want to say thank you to every single person that joined chat and myself. We had a lot of fun. That was a stir of the moment thing. I do believe on February 26th on Chad's channel, I'll be doing articulated chat with him, where he's just basically going to ask me a bunch of different questions, and we'll talk about all kinds of different things. So anyway, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I did want to talk about is the toy pickups here. Now, as you can see, the Sky Striker is behind me. We'll talk about that in 1 second. But someone in my area, Michigan, talked about Gabe's, and they brought up, hey, they have these at Gabe's. All right? Masterverse figures, this whole wave, $4 each. So I was able to pick up the whole wave for $16. Really didn't care for her, but I mean, if you're picking up Fisto and then Scareglow, which is the one that I wanted, you just kind of got to pick them all up. I mean, less than the actual price of the Masterverse. So if you have Gabe's, I believe they're out of like Kentucky or Tennessee. They just got here in Michigan. The lady started rambling on about me and rambling on to me about about it. And who might have stopped someone when they start rambling? I was like, you know what? $4. They got all kinds of stuff. They had like Gunslinger Spawn for like $6. I wasn't really interested in that. Hell, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with these. I'm out of room in this place, and there's so much stuff that I'm obviously interested in. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm not going to be able to get to all the comments. The one thing that I have learned, I'm going to definitely try and read through the comments. But the one thing that I'm learning is that you got to stay in your notes, kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the chat and everything like that. But for the most part, keep here. Let you guys do what you do. So anyway, also hit that like button. If we got 30 people in the house, we should have 30 likes right now. And I've seen up to 34 people. So, all right, the next thing is obviously all of the O-rings and our Vini cards. Well, mine are open, so it doesn't even matter now, does it? Vini cards, a lot of people don't like. A lot of people weren't happy with the art. I really like Scarlet, to be honest. I don't like the helmets on them. That's the one thing that I really don't like. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen all the veins on them. See if you can see it. I just kind of have a glare right there. But anyway, we got that, and obviously we got our Scarlet with... It's hard to find a crossbow because, well, it lays so flat because, unfortunately, there's no handle. And that is exactly how it's supposed to be. I'm going to explain to you guys why. I don't think that it was originally supposed to be that way. I mean, why would a crossbow not have a handle? But looking at the bubble here. When you look at the bubble, that's where the crossbow goes. There's no hole for the handle. So when they molded this bubble, they didn't mold it with a handle in mind. Talk about a complete screw up. Just awful. Like, there's some things, and we're going to discuss this. I think I might even do a video very shortly about the new O-rings, how I feel about them, the difference between them and the original, and where I think that they are absolutely failing. And then here we have the Sky Striker. And before we start dropping stuff here, we are definitely going to discuss the issues that people are having with the Sky Striker. Now, I've had no real issues with this. If you watch my videos, I've done 3 different videos from the unboxing to the review of that, and then the review of the figures. I haven't had any issues, to be honest. But I'm not stupid enough to realize that a lot of people aren't, especially with that front landing gear. And I actually have a video of mine that you guys may have seen on the short or on Instagram. But I also have a video from someone else showing his that he sent to me how his landing gear is failing. And it's unacceptable. It really is one of those things where they need to address this, especially going forward with the HISS tank. He's already been in talk with them. They want him to send these. He's got 2 of them. He wants them to send them back, and then who knows what they're going to do. But we've already waited. Now, I'm lucky enough. I can't complain. So my review is exactly how I feel about it. But again, with the amount of issues that people are having with the crossbow, which is absolutely stupid. But again, that's molded like that for some odd reason. Why they did that, I don't know. But yeah, I think people got like 2 sets of like white fins or black fins, or 2 left wings supposedly. I don't know. Some people said they didn't get the missiles. It's hard to say. I don't believe everything, and that really goes to the topic at hand tonight, which is the Hasbros versus the Valashills. And the Hasbros are such a broader base than just the Valashills. But let's be honest, these are 2 people that aren't looking in a mirror. They're looking at a window at each other and not even realizing they're the same person. Anyway, but yeah, so I do want to talk about that. Listen, no matter what my reviews say, they're always going to be my honest opinion. But what I am going to be honest about is that I know that people are having issues. And although I can't complain about mine, I also can't ignore what we've seen. I watched a live stream yesterday with 3 different people. One I really, really like. The other one, I don't dislike them, but I think he's live streaming 24/7. And then the other person, I don't know who they are, but they work together. And they kind of dismissed the issue with the landing gear. Like, hey, you know what? There's going to be some problems, but this isn't some problems. There's way more than just a few problems. Just way more than a few problems that are creeping up with the landing gear. Just hanging down, especially in the flight position, because that's basically how you're going to have it, right? I mean, for the most part, it's going to be sitting like this on most people. Most people don't have an aircraft carrier. I understand that. Most people don't have their childhood aircraft carrier to display this on. So, of course, I want to have it up in the air. So anyway, let's discuss this really quick. In the chat, how many people got the Sky Striker? How many people have had problems with it that are in there? We got 43 people in there. I know a few people must have gotten this thing. So let me know if anyone has gotten it and if anyone's had any issues with it while I try and load the first video to show you how it's supposed to look. And this here is going to be a first for us. So it's going to be really fun to see if I end up crashing the live stream. All right. So I get this on here. Now this should be my video right now. If you're having issues with the landing gear hanging down, let's say like that, look on the inside of the cockpit. All right, so give me a second here. I'm gonna back this up. And it dumped for some reason. So I'm trying to watch it here. See, you guys are getting to see firsthand what happens. So Absorb Viz, you didn't open yours, huh? How come you didn't open yours? Like I'm telling you guys, open them. I should mention this. I think everyone should open theirs, unless if you're just an inbox collector and you don't want to open it. But I think everyone should open it because this is going to be your only chance to get this stuff fixed. Because once that period's done, you can't open it in 6 months and go, oh, well, I just opened it. It's, So let me see if I can get this to work. I don't know if anyone has seen this yet. Again, I did post it on all my social medias. And I know on Instagram, it's gotten a lot of views. So let's get this to go from the beginning here. Maybe not. Is it even show? It's not even showing up here. Why not? All right, so
Wow.
if you're having issues with the landing gear hanging down, let's say like that, look on the inside of the cockpit and see if this is how it is.
So
Now
you
it
can see how
should
it's supposed to be.
be engaged like that, and then you shouldn't have any issues. But I'm not sure if. So this thing is very jittery. I'm trying to watch it over here. 50 people in the house. Thank you, everyone, for joining here. Smash that like button. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to try and show you Fred Broca's. He's the one who sent this over to me. This is not going as well as I had hoped that it would go, but probably as well as I assumed it would go. You know what? Why am I getting... You know what? My plug came out from the back for some odd reason. So I was working off Wi-Fi. And now it's jumping back and forth. This is awesome. No wonder why I'm having such issues. You know, this is fun to watch, huh, you guys? Why am I having issues now? We can't really fix that right now. Good Lord. Anyway, I don't think we're going to pipe this other one in. I keep looking at this. I know you guys don't care. You guys are like, dude, this guy is really just rambling on today, isn't he? Give me 1 second. You guys talk amongst each other. Let me see if I can get this thing fixed relatively quickly here. We'll stop the cam and... It's not working. So I'm working off Wi-Fi, which, as you might imagine, is not what I want going on. So this is going to be possibly a very difficult live stream. Again, I appreciate everyone hanging with me. I'm trying to look and see if I have another cord that I could grab quickly just to make this work. So give me 1 more second, guys. I apologize, but you guys are good. Thank you guys all for sticking around. Give me 1 second. Chat amongst each other. You guys are awesome. All right. I can still talk here. What do I have here? Oh. This is just amazing, guys. All right, hold on here. Oh my God. Yeah, technical. Well, you nailed it right there. You win the comment so far. A punk with technical difficulties. Maybe that'll be the name of the show next week. You know what? What's crazy is that I'm looking for another cable. Listen, I fix copy machines. I get cables all over the damn place in my car, in my office, different things like that. I have none that are long enough to reach other than the one that's here. And now I look and all of a sudden it's working fine. So I'm not even close to touching it. Oh, anyway, kind of explains why this thing kept dropping out on me. All right, so I'm going to remove this really quick. Let's try something. Remove this from studio. All right, guys. So I apologize, but of course, something was going to go crazy like this. What else can you expect, huh? You don't come here for professionalism. You come here for fun. Let's move this down. All right. So I'm going to try and share this file. We'll see if this goes any better. So this is Fred Broca's video. He sent this to me. And he has two Sky Strikers with the exact
brought
same
to my
issue.
attention, as you can see, this is the landing gear right here, the front one. Look how loose that is. That's really loose right there. This right here is what's deploying the landing gear when you pull back on the hook. But when this comes up, it should stay like that. Look how loose that is right there.
Yes.
Look how it wiggles around. And that's why this.
All right, so you can see that there. We'll remove this, and then he has a second one here. Can you guys hear the audio? Because I'm hearing it through mine. Palpatine, this is my other channel member. I think I have 2 or 3 now. Want to say hi to Palp. I talk to Palps all the time. He seems to be on all the other streams than I am. Glad to see he's not cheating on me with the other stream that moved from Sunday till today. But it's understandable if you can't, if you got to change things up, then you got to change things up. But just sucks that someone that big is going to jump on my day. My day. Oops. I want to share this yet. We're way behind, guys. Go figure. 21 minutes in. Though I was talking really fast. So, all right, good. So Keith says it sounds good. Thank you very much. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Hold on, this did not go anyway. This did not go any way that I had expected it to. So, let me say it didn't go anywhere I hoped it would.
See, landing gear is fully retracted, but front landing gear.
So he has 2 of them, and they're both the same. They're both the same. You can see he hasn't even put them together.
Number 2.
And the gear just falls down. So if you're having this issue, please contact Hasbro. Get it taken care of now while you still can. And again, Fred and I have talked about this a lot over the past couple of days because I don't have the issue. And it's something he might be able to fix fairly easy. I've seen someone actually take rubber bands and tie it on the inside. Oop, I went back to Wi-Fi, so I don't know if this is cord or the computer's going bad. So the sync's probably going to start to get pretty. But now it's not. Keep jumping back and forth. This is the first time this ever happened. So you guys get to enjoy this fun. But if you have this issue, get it taken care of now. Okay? Get it taken care of now. If you wait too long, you're not going to be able to get it to. And it's too bad. We waited over a year for these things. They've sat on our money. They collected interest. They've done everything they needed to. Now there's some people that are going to have to send this back. Again, I'm going to tell you guys right now. If I review something and something comes off really good and I say it's great, but down the road, it ends up being a problem, a week or 2 or whatever, you start reporting problems, I have no problem coming back and letting everyone know, especially doing live streams. I have this open forum where I can tell people exactly, hey, you know what? This is exactly, this is something that is, something that's happening right now, and it needs to be addressed. All right, so I didn't really mean to get on this yet, but it dumped this, so I'm just gonna remove this from the stream really quick. So anyway, just like, again, I've had issues with the scarabs and like their hips breaking, and it was taken care of pretty quickly. So if there's an issue, I'm not shilling out for anyone. I'm not going to do that. Never. That's just, again, and I'm starting to see it a little bit more and more with all kinds of companies. People don't want to badmouth it. This was something that was brought up to me by someone else that said, you notice, like, hey, they won't say anything bad because I think they want free product. I'm starting to see it more and more, especially as I'm doing this. You're starting to see it more and more. 55 people right now. Everyone better hit that like button. Um, I keep on refreshing here to see how many likes we have. We only got 34 likes, 55 people. Hey guys, something's not adding up, so hit that like button. 58 people. Hit that like button. Let's make this the biggest show that we've had yet. Let's see. So listen, hey, patient mental here. Where you at? You're right. Not everyone, all toy lines have problems. It's just the way it is. But here's the whole thing: the more we take it, the more they're not even going to use lube with us. All right. The more we take it, the more shit they're going to give us. The more they're going to say we can raise those prices because they just take it. All right. Just like the government when they decide to jack up, the oil prices and things start going up. They don't care. Hey, you know what? I might just get an extra Techno Viper to sit them back here and make sure I don't have technical difficulties once he comes out. A little flight pod flying behind me, all the way from Canada. So anyway, I've talked a good amount on that. So I don't know if you guys have had problems with it. Get it taken care of. I like this figure for the most part, but there are definitely some issues. Let's see if I can get this. So if you see her arm here, so this is just an ace, okay? This arm here, there's definitely an issue with the elbow because my ace is the exact same way. It's not fitted in properly. So that mold, there's an issue with the mold. And I'm wondering if they're coming out of different factories. If that's the reason why some people are having different issues. Some people are having issues with the front landing gear because maybe it came out of a different factory. Or maybe just a 12-year-old at 4 o'clock on Friday, knowing that he has to work all weekend. Hey, you know what? This is the guy right here I'm going to mention in a second here. But anyway, so Rich Murphy here, during a conversation a while ago, him and I were having, he mentioned something that, and this isn't really anything secret, I don't think. But he said, you notice that some of these people won't say anything bad. He goes, I really think they want some free product. They're trying to walk that line because they're hoping they get free product. And I do think that it's true. And again, I don't want that. You're wrong. You send me free product. And if a company offers to send me free product, they're going to understand. Like, I'll tell them, hey, you know what? Reviews are the same. And if that means you don't want to send me a product because I'm going to be honest, that's how I've built my whole reputation is on honesty and what I'm giving to the people out there that are watching me. So anyway, we got through the toy pickups, got through the issues. I think if there's anything else that people want to talk more about on this, we can do so. But let's get into some of the toy news that's going on right now. So where should we start? Should I start where I have it on order? Let's see. All right. I said hi. I gotta write this stuff, or I just totally forget. The toy pickups. All right, so we're gonna go to Toy Arc, and we can add this to the stream. So I have a few McFarlane stuff up here. I'm not a huge fan of the McFarlane stuff, but I gotta say right now, this Dark Knight wave, I am really thinking about getting. So the build-a-figure is this Bane, I do believe here. So you're gonna get this Bane, who I think looks really nice. Again, I don't think we're ever gonna get pinless from McFarlane, but he's also keeping his prices down to something affordable. This Bane, at least in the promo shot, looks absolutely awesome. But the figures that they are giving us for the Build-A-Wave, this is what I like, is that they're all figures that I would want in my display. With the Dark Knight Joker, who I think looks really nice. Again, pinless, having pinned isn't the worst if it's all the same. But hey, you know what? No big deal. It's the same color, so you're gonna get by with it. Scrolling down here, here's the Scarecrow, which I really like the Scarecrow from the first Batman. I thought it was really nice. Bane looking like Crockmaster. You got that? Yeah, Bane looking like Crockmaster. I guess you could say that. I mean, I gotta say, guys, it is weird. When I started, I was hitting all the, going through all your comments. It's really hard to go through the comments. Just so you guys know, it's not that I don't read them. I read them later on. I'm a glutton for punishment. I go back and I listen to my stuff. You got to know what I can do better. I really like the Two-Face. I think this looks really nice. The one reason why I think you can get away with not having pinless joints here is because it's all one color, so there's not a breakage in it. But again, it would be nice. They have the technology to do it, but if you're a big McFarlane fan, you can definitely save a little bit of money. He can save some money for us. And then here you have the Batman. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this? I actually really do. I'm really thinking about getting this. And if we're talking about $100 for the whole wave to get 5 figures, not that bad. Not compared to a lot of stuff that was shelling out. Mezco, you're paying $100 for 1 figure. But I really like it. So I normally don't talk too much McFarlane, but I definitely did want to address those because they just caught my eye. So scrolling through here. All right, so let's get to Star Wars in their Black Series, or just in general. And there are no more pre-orders. Now, this is one of those things that it makes you wonder. It's like, what the hell's going on? Is all of Hasbro going to do with this? Or is this just something because the Star Wars team is so butthurt over people ripping on them that they're just like, you know what? We're taking our balls and we're going. That sounded wrong. We're taking our ball and going home. Because that's really what it seemed like. Doing away with the pre-orders. That hurts like BBTS, Entertainment Earth, and those ones really aren't going to be hurting that bad. Oh, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, Entertainment Earth. Here, let's just do this really quick. This is just a cheap plug for myself that I am an Entertainment Earth affiliate now. Oh, we jump back to the Wi-Fi. I'm going to be spending some time fixing this over the week, huh? Aren't I? So if it drops, you know the reason why. But again, Entertainment Earth, anything inside. If you use this code here, not even this code, this link, ee.toys/apunk, get 10% off anything in stock. Free shipping and handling, $39 and over. That was my free, not my free. That was my plug. But anyway, so they did this here. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of doing this. I think you're really crapping on your clients, the people that are actually buying from you. I have a feeling most people are gonna agree with me. It really ends up to me. It comes down to they don't get us the product. I'm saying us. I'm not really a Star Wars collector, so it doesn't matter to me. But really, they're not getting people the product, and it's really going to hurt them. And so now they're just being all butthurt over it, and they're like, we're not going to give you pre-orders. What is Digital Diarrhea saying here? Punk, see if flex hats are an option for your channel store. I will double check and see. I thought for the most part I put everything on there that you could, but I will double check and make sure. I did order myself a shirt, so once I get it in, you guys will definitely see how it looks. Because I gotta say, if they don't look nice, I don't want that channel. I don't want that merch up there. But it is the merch. I can't talk today. Go figure. it is the merch, one of the main merch store that YouTube uses. So it gets pretty good high reviews as long as everything is in looks decent. So let's hope so. But I will definitely look for you because I appreciate any, like I said, you guys helping out, helps out the channel, helps all of us out. Um, so let's get into some of the stuff that they were looking at. So quickly here's everything that was announced. Again, not a huge Star Wars fan. I am going to kind of go over some things because I think sometimes they have the right idea, but man, they just, and I'll tell you this. Here's the other thing. Chaz the Guru did probably the greatest. I think it was Chaz that did the meme for the Star Wars with the train and then the GI Joe Classified just barreling through it. Like if I was the Star Wars team, I'd like walk down the hall and be like, really? Like you couldn't set us up on a different day rather than let us have to do the stream, then send out a message saying, "Oh, by the way, we're taking our ball and going home, and you have no more pre-orders," and then GI Joe just comes smashing through like a locomotive. But I do gotta say, some of these I like. I like the idea of this Revenge of the Jedi Darth Vader, kind of a different color. It's more of a the Frush was talking about it, and I think what he talked about was this is the type of thing that you need for an exclusive. It's an exclusive. You don't have to have it. You don't need this colored Darth Vader or the Revenge of the Sith, but it's cool to have. So that's what should be considered your exclusives. And then you have, there's been a lot of talk about these guys right here, the Endor troopers having different faces. The fact that they're already telling you they're going to be deluxes, you really got to start getting away from all this deluxe. It's hurting your brand so much. And if people are talking how some of them are already sitting there, where you can get them, I believe, on Amazon on clearance, why is anyone going to do this? Why is anyone going to continue to buy this type of crap? No. See, I'm catching some. So I'm sitting here catching some of the comments here. No, you did not win the Snake Eyes last week, although I did finally send it out today. I'm a little bit behind. My life is a little bit busier. Anyway, that's the Star Wars. I don't know. There's really not too much. I'm so not invested in the Star Wars. I do like this Jedi here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because I will absolutely obliterate it. But anyway, let's get into some stuff that you guys probably came to talk to. I don't think anyone really comes in here to hear me talk about Star Wars. So what do we want to talk about? Let's talk about MOTU. Then we'll get to the GI Joe stuff. So there's a lot of MOTU here. So Jay from Geek Dead Life, again, they decided he was coming back from Germany, so they decided to do a show right now. So the fact that I have 63 people in here right now listening to little old me, thank you, because they are the juggernaut of the toy world right now, and they're doing their show right now. I probably shouldn't say that, right? But I'm not worried about competition because competition makes us all better. But anyway, he was there. He saw this Point Dread, and I gotta say, this thing, I'm excited for it. I don't know how, if I do get it, which I probably will, how I'm going to put it on top of my Castle Grayskull, because my Castle Grayskull is almost touching the ceiling of my kitchen because of the shelving unit that it's on. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it. Yes. Listen, the Viper Scout, you are right. Like, we have till April 1st to get all this shit out. Hopefully GI Joe doesn't announce anything else, because this is where all our money is going. It's going to go into finishing this line as quickly as possible. But anyway, I like this. It sits on top. Jay was saying that he saw it and they showed the way that it clips on there. It clips on really well. And he did say you would be able to clip this on along with the Wind Raider on the other side. Now, I don't know how well that would work because the Wind Raider is heavy and it may cause it to fall. Let's see here. Rather watch a true channel instead of a show channel. Listen, I really like Geek Dead Life. It's probably my favorite toy show. I think they have a great rapport. They're hilarious. They work together. I've learned a lot from watching them. But thank you. I definitely appreciate you and the 63 other people here with you watching me. You guys can always come back and watch it on the replay, but let's be honest, the live is just so much better. And again, hopefully we can get eventually we'll be able to grow a little bit more, get rid of the little duck in the corner here. I know I've talked about that a few times, but anyway, that's enough about Point Dread. I think it looks awesome. I'm gonna have to figure out a whole new way to redo my Masters of the Universe, and believe it or not, I've already started thinking about how I could. Let's see here. We'll scroll up. Masters of the Universe. All right, so here are some more confirmed ones. It looks like he went through everything here. Probably should have just pulled this one up rather than just pulling up Point Dread. And I'm back on the Wi-Fi, guys, so if I start dipping in and out, you know why. Yeah. GI Joe is more powerful than a locomotive. You know what? They probably are, to be honest. They probably are. Now we can get a locomotive figure. Maybe they can do a 6-inch locomotive figure. So anyway, these are all the figures that were confirmed. And there's been a lot of talk about this. I'm not sure, So we have Snake Tila, 200X King Randor, 200X Man at Arms. So I'm assuming these are all the 7-inch figures that we see right up here. Again, really nice. I really like the Master of the Universe stuff. The Masterverse stuff, you just wait till it goes on clearance because it's going to go on clearance probably a week after they get it in. Hell, I think Target puts them out and puts the clearance tag out with it. You get the Eternia Palace Snake Trooper. So that one would be right here, I believe. He talked about Snake Mountain, so Snake Mountain is coming. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that. There's just so much stuff. That's actually funny. I actually just paid Geek Dead Life the $1 membership for being a member of theirs. So it's kind of funny that here they are competing against me, and I just paid. PayPal just sent me. So believe me when I ask you guys, hey, you know what? You get memberships. I also pay for some memberships too. I also do some super chats with some other people. So, so anyway, let's see here. Just scrolling through. You guys are like a glutton for punishment, aren't you, man? You just listen to hear me ramble on. Hey, Pulp, you like that? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know where I'm gonna put this thing. It's just such a nice piece. Like, do I want it in my living room in front of my TV? Do I want it on the aircraft carrier? I can't always have it behind me. You guys don't see the mess that I have in front of me. It is such a nightmare. It's nice that I can have a camera just kind of focus in on certain things. All right, so there's a lot of stuff. I really like the Toy Habit site, but they are one, again, as much as I like them, they're not going to rock the boat. They're kind of the people that I was kind of referring to before. It feel like they don't want to insult anyone, and I understand that. But I do believe, and we're going to see here in a second. Oh, we went back to the Wi-Fi, so of course it's moving super, super slow. But anyway, lots of MOTU news. And here we have, the rumors. I'll click on this really quick. I really wish I knew what was going on with my Wi-Fi and my everything. Oh, and Baldylocks is here. If you're not following Baldylocks on YouTube, you need to. Um, let's say you don't have time for a 30-minute review like mine. You can jump in and check his. His are going to be about 10 minutes. So he talks about Whiplash. Talks about Whiplash here. Then you have Ram Man. He says he's going to be smaller than some of them. Baldylocks, when we get the Frogmonger in a second. Clamp Champ. Now, these are all Masterverse. Here we have Grizzlor. They should have really made that a sellout so no one could get it. And then the Fankor, which he wears the yellow rather than, I don't know where my Fankor is. He's somewhere around here. Wow. You know it's bad when you have it's right back there. He's orange back there. So you can make your original one. So anyway. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the wrong button and I dumped myself out of the studio. So, where was I? It's not something that I would be opposed to down the road. But I gotta say, like doing one show a week. I don't know how some of these people are doing it numerous times. There are people doing 3, 4, 5 live streams a week. I think there are some people, again, they just hit that record button and it's like all damn day they sit in a seat and they talk about stuff. And I don't get it. Good for them. I can't be doing that. But anyway, this is the Masterverse. Sorry, I bumped myself out. At least now I know that StreamYard holds the stuff. I guess I have to add this back. Man, this live stream's going awesome. Like, you guys are seeing the true colossal fuck up that I am, and probably seeing why it is that that my ex left me. She's like, where she's like, man, you can't even. You're such an idiot. But hey, you know what? Oh well. Okay. So let's get out of this here. All right. So guess who's here? You want to say hi? Come on. Come on, say hi. Come on. Up here. All right, there we go. Look, I'll say hi. I know, buddy. I know. You act like there's no one here. No one here. All right? I know. Okay. Hey, all right, so everyone got to see Roman. It's only his first appearance. Buddy, I can't do this. All right, so like I said, I like Toy Habits. I think it's a really good website. It really goes through everything that I'm really into. Masters of the Universe. This just got added. I don't believe this was here earlier, but anyway. But I did see this pop up on Instagram. And so this kind of tells me that they are probably getting free product because my Frogmonger hasn't even shipped yet. No notification. They have it in hand. They've had some stuff in hand. So take it for what it's worth. It's nice. I'm glad. Good for them. But again, it does seem like they now have a hookup and that they are going to be getting stuff early. But here's the Frogmonger. I'm really, really excited to get my Frogmonger. It's just cool to have these new characters that we didn't have before. They really excite me. All this stuff. I went back to Wi-Fi, guys. Man, I can't believe you guys are still sticking around. I can't wait to get this fixed later on this week. But I'm really excited for this. It's just a cool looking, weird ass figure, and I do have the Secrets of Grayskull. I believe that's what it was called. That I can kind of play with it and see how that works. So I'm excited to get this. So just looking at it, I do believe they said that the body is made from Moduloc or a look of Moduloc. So we should be getting that down the road. I mean, within the next 2 months, obviously, because April 1st, the end of the line. And he's got a new gun here, whatever that thing is. He's got his new trident. I guess that's Monkey Wrench's trident now, isn't it? The shooting trident. So anyway, there's what Baldy Locks was talking about. I know he's all about it. I think he is. I think he enjoys a lot of the same stuff that I do. So anyway, so there we are. That's the MOTU. One day I'll figure out how to do the slides, and I can do this a little bit easier, a little bit better. But until that time, we're going to use websites. All right, guys. So I just looked, 51 likes, 51 people. That is awesome. But we had like 60 something. So hit that like button, everyone. A sorceress is a freak. Do you mean Toy Sorceress from Toy Geeks? Last night was the first time I'd seen her. I saw her on Mega J Retros. Again, I don't mind Mega J. He's okay. He's on all the time. I don't know how you can stream that much. I don't know how you can stream that much. Man, we got, it seems like a lot of new people in here. I really wish I could sit here and go through all the comments, guys. So I don't want anyone to think that I'm ignoring you guys. It is hard to read through the comments, do this. Obviously worry about my Wi-Fi crapping out on me. So let's get to what you guys probably wanted to talk about for the news, is that the GI Joe. And again, Chad and I did a whole live stream about it, talking about it, but we didn't get to come here. Those were mostly people that watched Chad's, Articulated Chad. If you're not following Articulated Chad, you guys need to jump on there, start following him. He is good guy, fun. Yes, he hates classified, but it's kind of like some of the things you just have to deal with when it comes to Chad. But if you want to know about customs, O-ring customs, anything like that, dude, he's the one for you. Anyway, okay, so let's just get into this. So GI Joe Day, which I didn't even know was a thing. But again, I was also told I am not a GI Joe fan because I compared the big Zarana to the little Zarana. So we'll just scroll back and quickly we'll just start with the first one that we see, which is a Televiper and the Trouble Bubble. Now, I gotta say, I've never been a Televiper fan. Although right now, like you guys said, I think I could use him because the stream has been pretty hit or miss here. Did everyone see? Didn't everyone see the my Trouble Bubble Dr. Mindbender? Maybe I'll see if I can get see if a little bit later I can pull up my Instagram, because that's where it's at. But here, looking at this here, let's look at the figure. I think the figure looks a lot like the single pack. I think it might have been the dollar store single pack. The head is still a little bit different. Now, people have asked why does he have sleeves on? Well, he has sleeves because you have a black face, a white face, and I believe this is like a robotic. It doesn't look like a mask. I don't believe that's a mask that goes over it. But he does really pop. And someone had asked before. All right, Matt Franco. Who the fuck is Matt Franco? I need to get off my screen. Anyway. Yeah, love the snout. You know what? This is the first time I'm looking at it on a big screen here, to be honest. And I'm seeing so much more detail. So, I think it looks really good. Someone had asked, why would they do it with the Trouble Bubble? Well, the Trouble Bubble is going to be like an army builder. I think it's going to be around $50, 45 $50. I don't think too much. But this can be used with anyone, and now you're going to have multiple different types of multiple different types of Televipers, different colors. So that's cool. You can throw a different head on it. God knows we have a bunch of heads. They did the exact same, I guess. This is a TV gun. I never understood what the gun was, even to this day. The backpack looks almost identical, although you can see that they've obviously put some paint apps on it. I think this looks really nice. And if you look up here, all right, people were wondering what it is. I think that's like a heads-up display. So I think that's actually really cool. You have a heads-up display. You have the seatbelt, which is way better than having a peg. Having the seatbelt, you can do that with a 6-inch, really easy. Okay, so Nico says that it's apparently a gun. The gun is a camera. All right, that makes no sense. Like, that's as bad as sending barbecue into Cobra Island in his bright red to get killed with no weapons. Though the gun looks really nice. Like, it has a hole, so it obviously can use blast effects. I'm excited to get this. If it's around the $50 mark, we'll probably be able to get 2 of them. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but having two different heads and 2 different face colors is really nice. And again, this looks like it's like a mask. I don't think it just goes over, so it's hard to say. So let's go on. The next figure here is, maybe it's that one. Okay, here is the Steel Bricors. Now, I know there's a lot of people that have already said, man, they're copying Valaverse. And I swear to God, the amount of the lack of knowledge that some people have when it comes to understanding the GI Joe line. I actually read on one of the Valaverse sites where they said, I think Bobby actually worked on the Steel Brigade. That's why he bought it. Well, he would have been like 5 years old. No, Bobby had talked about it. It's his favorite figure. He has like the largest Steel Brigade collection in the world. And when someone at Hasbro told him they let it lapse, he bought it. And then he created his own Steel Brigade. And when you look at this figure compared to the Steel Brigade, I got one right here. Compared to this Steel Brigade, all right, when you first look at this thing here, you're like, oh, wow, that looks like Steel Brigade. But when you look at what the Joe team put out, which looks like the O-ring, you're like, it really looks nothing like it. Colors are similar. It has the name. But again, I'm happy to get this. Be able to take off the stupid shoulders. I don't really want that. But again, this is Beachhead's body, at least the upper body. I believe the lower body is also Beachhead, so it's not going to be pinless. So I want to mention this. This is something that was brought up. This was something that was brought up on the Froosh, and it made me think about this. Now, they've talked about, not everyone, not them, but everyone's talked about it takes like a year before designing a figure and before it can go into production. The Froosh talked about it is that these seem to have the Joe communicators, which they started to drop. So if you're looking at this, it's using the old pin bodies. So it's using Beachhead's body. If it has, the communicator, the Joe Pro, it probably means that this thing was actually ready to go quite some time ago. And they probably held off because of all the Steel Brigades that Bobby had put out, trying just not to step on each other's toes. I don't think Bobby completely going just fucking going off on Lenny had anything to do with them putting this out. But I do think there was a timing to it that, hey, you know what? Because it's still using the old guns. So all of this, in my opinion, was done before. Like this figure was probably done. They were looking for the right time to put it out there. The same with like the Sergeant Slaughter. I definitely do like the jetpacks. I hope that these blast effects with the jetpacks are like the ones here on the Sky Striker, where they're nice and straight. They're not going to sag. Unlike these shit ones here that half of them came limp already. I'm not a fan of these blast effects. They just don't look realistic. They look more laserish. I like the little explosions here. Those are cool. I do like the way Valashills does them. They're just an explosion coming out. That's how I think that they should be. But I know they're trying to, change things up. So I do hope that these blast effects for the jetpacks are better. Okay. But I do. This is another one. Like you're gonna want to get 2 sets, and I think that this set's gonna be probably around 50. It's hard to say with Hasbro because that Viper 3-pack, which was a complete ripoff, was $90. But then you come out with the Ninja 2-pack, which was $45. Once again, saying that you have a blind person throwing fucking darts at the wall, and wherever it lands, that's the price that you get, as long as it's over $45. So I'm thinking this thing's probably going to run about. Well, I don't think it's going to be 70. That Amazon, I'm sorry, that Viper 3-pack is now 80 all the time on Amazon. That thing had dropped so many times that, I mean, they were selling for like 60. I think even lower than that at times, 55. Hopefully Hasbro and the marketing team's able to go to them and say, hey, so I'm hoping around 50. The whole point of having a 2-pack, something like this, is to keep the cost down. You're not supposed to pay more than what it's supposed to be. And really, the only thing that you're giving us is some overlays and the jetpacks that are new. Everything else is reuse, which I'm fine with. That's the way of the world. That's the way of the toy world. But I do like these. And again, if I can get 2 sets, awesome, because then you have 2 with the jetpack, 2 different helmets, and then we'll go good with the Steel Brigade. Matter of fact, the Steel Brigade might end up turning bad. All right, so now we get the Scrap Iron. I love the Scrap Iron. I think he looks absolutely awesome. I still don't understand these blast effects. I don't. This is another one I think is going to be $45, $50. They were definitely showing us the high end of everything. But this is supposed to be with the pet. The Snake Eyes with Timber set, that one's $45. Same with the Croc Master. I'm guessing this thing's going to be $45 to $50. Remember, Hasbro owns GI Joe, so they are able to get more into a pack as long as they are willing to do it. Oh yeah, you know what? Matthew, you are right. I meant to point that out quickly. These things, unfortunately, have single jointed arms. It's time to get rid of the single jointed arms. But the issue is going to be the same with like Marvel Legends. They may have retired this body, but they are still going to be using that body. Okay, Necro. So again, I understand what you're saying. But what I'm hoping for is that Hasbro, people have gone to them and said, listen, this thing isn't selling for 90 anywhere. Amazon has it clearanced for $80. They were selling it for $55. Hopefully they will readjust their pricing. I know it's asking a lot because it's Hasbro. All right. But I don't, so I sort of understand these blast effects. And maybe once we get to see them, we'll know how they sit and everything. But I don't know how they're supposed to go. It looks like there's just something missing. Now you have, I don't want to bookmark you. So you have this here. And the first thing I thought was, oh, that's for the HISS tank. You can use that for the HISS tank. But that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Because I'm assuming that at the end of this is where you plop the rocket. So it's going to look like it's blasting. And again, if they're going to be doing that, it's going to have to be using the same material, same type of plastic as this. Because there's no way that it's going to hold it. But I can hold the missile here without any issues. So when it plugs in, it's perfectly fine. I'm not a fan of the gun because I always loved his original gun. There's an automatic pistol, which I just thought was super cool. He does come with his Game Gear. I thought I was being clever when I said it was the Game Gear, and then I realized a bunch of people thought the exact same thing, that it is the Game Gear. Now, looking at his body, he obviously has different boots. I don't believe these boots or the legs have been used. The legs have probably been, but the knees look like they're different. I think this is the Stalker arms, which I'm fine with. That's what they do. I have no problem with them reusing it. I do believe the helmet is removable, so that will be interesting. It looks like you can see scars across his face. So if the helmet comes off and you can see scars, I think that's going to be absolutely awesome. That right there for people like Matthew who do pictures. I mean, that would be awesome. That would be absolutely amazing. Just to see that artwork, and then just to look at. I love how they did this. I mean, it looks like a pack rat, right? It looks like one of the little mini vehicles, the pack rats. So I got to say this: you take that body right there. Looking at this here, you take this, you take the treads of this, and now you can throw on there and do a pack rat. And guess what? You can package it with another figure, and there you have your what up, buddy? I know. Then you have your a pack rat. You can have another deluxe figure with a vehicle. So again, Hasbro can get their extra money because God knows they need it. But looking at this closer, like it almost looks like these might be working treads. I know this is a digital render, but I don't see any wheels underneath it. And looking right over here, it looks like that's an axle. So I wonder if they would actually try and do an axle. Hey, John, you didn't just make it. We have had technical difficulties, and we're only an hour and 7 minutes into this. You know that I can go much longer than that. So, but I am glad that you're here. I'm glad that everyone is here. 58 people right now watching. Listen, this show has grown so much faster than I ever could have thought. The channel has grown faster than I ever thought that it would have. So, anyway, well, I hate when the dog's got to. The problem is Jeff, like he constantly does this. He just wants to go in, out, in, out, in, out. Oh man, digital diarrhea. Johnny Five alive. Johnny Five alive. I love Johnny Five. Johnny Five was hilarious. I gotta look here more. Johnny Five. But okay, listen, I know where you're going. You got your Gridiron Studio stuff you can do on your customs. All right. We didn't say custom 3 times, Tony. When I want you here, I will say custom, 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 and then you show up, right? Isn't that how it works? Give me 1 second. I gotta get this dog out of here. All right. All right, hold on 1 second, and then we will stroll down here. All right, guys. Don't you love when you ask your kids something and you yell their name numerous times and then they get aggravated, but they didn't bother answering you? Ah, kids. They're absolutely awesome. Okay, then we get to Snow Job. And I gotta say, I love Snow Job. Snow Job is clearly made so they can do a quick, easy white repaint of him and put him in a retro card or somehow retro. So, um, I love the dual heads that they have. I love this sculpt. If this thing comes out looking like what we're seeing here, it is definitely going to compete with the Outback face sculpt. And a matter of fact, give us another gray old man. I mean, his would like he would look awesome if they did something where it looked like it was icy and everything. Well, okay, so yeah, so this is. I hate when things just disappear. You know, I don't pay for the cheapest internet, just so you guys know. I don't have the cheapest internet, all right? So again, I think this all comes down to they are waiting. A repaint is just it's ready to go. That you'll have his original rifle. He'd be all completely white, only one head sculpt. They can do that. So they've already mentioned this is a deluxe. So hopefully the deluxes, and Emily did come out and say that the deluxes are going to be, was it $34.99 or $33.99? I don't remember. I think it was the price of the Kamakura. So if that's what it is, then so be it. They are giving us a bunch of stuff. I'm okay with that. Again, I'd definitely rather have, $25 figure. But at least they are giving us a good amount of stuff. I just hope this thing shows up before Christmas, before winter of next year, so we can get awesome snow shots out there. The people of us who live like in the north, some of you guys would just have to use like cotton balls and stuff because you guys don't know what real snow is or what cold is. Anthony, I've talked to Anthony here. See, he agrees. An icy beard would be sick, but I've talked to Anthony. He complains when it's like 50 degrees out there in Arizona. Oh, it's so cold. I should not be insulting my viewers. But hey, what kind of host would I be if I don't insult people? All right, so now I was watching the Full Force, and I know a lot of people don't like the Full Force, but he does have a lot of good information. When you're that close with, obviously, Lenny and Emily and Hasbro in general, again, people will call him a show, but he's not really telling you to buy it. He's just showing you stuff. But someone did make the comment, and he said that the suit is not an overlay. That's his actual body. So I'm assuming because of the digital renders, now this I wonder if this would have the belly dancer look here, or if it would just have the ab crunch. But the ab crunch, let's say, would be right here. This is a skirt, just like I forget what other figure it was. So it's just going to hang down. So if this is just the body, you obviously know we're going to be getting, we're getting the Snow Serpent, but that's going to be used for the Snow Serpent, Iceberg, Frostbite, anyone else that they can cram into that body, and then use different overlays down here to make it look different. So I think it's an awesome idea. Again, I really like it, and I do like this rifle. I mean, this is going to be awesome for like. I see this, and you know what I think of? The snow scenes in Red Dawn. Yeah, I said it. When they're sitting there and they're just pegging people off. Patrick Swayze at his best, and he went and dirty danced right after that without his shirt on. And then he went and defended some bars against professional wrestlers. Awesome, just awesome. But anyway, So that's our digital renders right there. Again, I think they look really good. Again, this is what we are going to get eventually, I think, because we know that the retro card is probably going to come back in some form. They're going to give us a retro card, probably through Walmart again, and people will complain, and we'll get it like, years later. So I know. Okay, I know what you're talking about, but I have actually never seen The Thing. I'm not a big horror fan, but I know what you're talking about. The James Bond. Listen, I always thought the skiing was absolutely awesome, and as a snowboarder myself, I don't like when figures come with snowboards because it would make it very awkward to be shooting while on a snowboard because you'd always be facing a specific way unless you know how to ride switch. Anyway, most of you probably just went, "What the fuck is switch?" Exactly. All right, so that's it with toy habits. And the GI Joe, I think we've covered everything that we need to about these digital renders. Again, I do really enjoy them. I think they're going to be awesome. And then quickly, we'll take a look at some of the things that I did see. I want to ask the wrestling fans out here. I see Danhausen all the time. He was here in Michigan at one of the toy stores. He's been here a few times. Is he from Michigan? Because he's in a lot of the toy stores. But what is the big deal on Danhausen? I know he's very evil. And I don't dislike him. I'm just trying to figure out what it is about him. Because he's the type of wrestler that I would never have liked. Isn't built, isn't big. I don't get this affection for Danhausen. But I do think I love that he has his own gimmick and he's doing his own thing. Now, observe, I don't think there's going to be much skate talk today. Maybe at the end, who knows? But that's when I really start losing the viewerships and people going, I don't understand what you're talking about. Although I do have ideas. I do have a skate channel. I've never really put anything on it, but I've had some ideas. Just so you know, if I ever do, I will hit you up for sure on that. But anyway, Danhausen here. I was wondering if anyone knows. And I don't see anyone saying anything, so I'm going to say no one knows. No one cares. Looks like Star Trek's getting a few more playmates. I do like these Star Treks. I haven't picked any up, but I definitely did like this Star Trek. I think they're cool just to give us something that's inexpensive, which I think all playmates should be inexpensive. All right, so I just looked at the likes, and we have 61 likes. Thank you to every single one of you. You guys, seriously, you guys are kicking ass. Everything that you are helping me out with, and I appreciate it. All right, so I obviously go ahead and I look at everything that's going on before. We'll get into the topic in a few minutes. Hey, look, Payne's just in time. So everyone stick around. We're going to be getting into the topic. The Hasbros versus the Valashills. So I did look at this, and I saw these musculoids, and I said, wow, they look like early Masters of the Universe. And then I clicked on them, and I'm like, what the hell is this, man? Like, $55 for what looks like 5 points of articulation, and they look like the guys that are using Synthoid, which is just awful. It's not a steroid. It's just awful. They inject it specifically into your like arms, and it just completely deforms it and makes it look huge. Like when you see the pictures of people that have like giant arms but like small chest, they're using stuff because Synthoid, I believe, is what it's called. But I don't know what the hell this is, man. These things are just synthol. Okay, synthol, yeah. So Tony knows, being a former professional football player who sucked. I mean, who was average. I'm sorry. Tony does customs, awesome customs. Better than Tony Romo is at announcing or playing football. Damn it. I mean, go check out Tony's stuff. He does awesome customs. But these guys look like they're on synthol. It's absolutely awful. But I looked at these things. I'm like, $55, man. Like, I'd rather buy a fucking Super 7. Like, and I'm like, MF Gallery, what is that? Like, motherfucking gallery? Like, muscular. Okay, so you're real muscular, but they look awful. Like, the body does not look like that. Not at all. There's nothing that looks like a body there. Anyway, I saw this, and then I saw the price, and I'm like, all right, well, I hope BBTS can cancel those orders because, well, they suck. All right, so that's about it. I didn't really see too much else. If I missed anything that you want me to talk about, drop it in the chat. Matthew will shoot me a text. Go, hey, man, 68 people just dropped in. All right, 68 people. Everyone hit that like button. All right, so let's get to the topic in hand. If 68 people dropped in, I'm gonna guess Geek Dead Life just ended. Is that what I can assume? Geek Dead Life just ended. So now everyone is jumping over here to see Geek Dog Life. Maybe, I don't know. Geek Dog Life. Anyway. All right, let's get into the topic at hand. 71 people are here to hear what I think about the Hasbros versus the Valashills. And I didn't mention it earlier. Here is exactly what I think about these people. And you know what? Now that I said these people, we're going to talk about the movie You People when I'm done. Because honestly, God, that movie's fucking hilarious. All right. So if you haven't watched You People, we're going to talk about it. And you may want to chime out when we're done because it's so damn good. Anyway. Okay. So anyway, you have the people that call everyone Hasbros. All right. And if you watch any 3POA, they're going to refer to all these Hasbros all the time. And I used to refer to the Vala people as Vala Blind. That was coined by Articulated Ninja, who, in my opinion, has become part of the Vala Blind. Now, it's harder to just be on the Vala Blind now because he is giving us really good figures. I do think that these female figures were kind of a step back. They feel more like Series 1, but the special deployment was absolutely awesome. And the one thing that he does do is he goes back and he addresses stuff. But when you hear people talk about the Hasbros, and a lot of stuff came up when the Steel Cores, that Steel Core came out. And then if you go to the Valaverse sign, they're saying how they completely copied off Bobby. And then if you go to the other side, a GI Joe site, they're saying how, oh, you know what? They're taking him out. This one looks so much better. I'm not going to lie. I look at the Steel Core. I look at the Steel Brigade that Action Force has. I'd be a liar to say that I thought the Steel Corps looked better than the Steel Brigade that Action Force is giving us. It's night and day. But what you do have is a more classic style. There is no doubt in my mind that Bobby is not going to buy that Steel Corps because guess what? That's his favorite figure. He has like 1,000 of them, like all lined up. Now he's going to have a 6-inch. It's going to look just like it. But you get these Hasbros, and they're going to apologize for absolutely every single thing that Hasbro puts out. And that's something that I've always said I'm never going to do. I refuse to do that. If they start sending me free product, they can't send me enough free product to taint my reputation that I would not give my honest take and my honest opinion on it. The same as if when I give my honest opinion on Valaverse and the Valashills come after me, and it's kind of like, did you watch the fucking review? I pointed out issues the same as I would with a Mattel figure or a Hasbro figure or a NECA figure. But I also point out all the good stuff that's on there because I point out that, hey, their weapons are kind of brittle. Doesn't mean I don't dislike them. Yes, you know what? T-Glow, that's exactly it. It's integrity. All right? And when you're on YouTube, the only thing that you have is your word and your integrity. All right? And if you want to be a shill, that's fine. Be it. Just don't act like you're not. And so there's been a few things that have come on. Obviously, we have the Hasbros, right? And I got people on there and I'm reading through them. I just cannot believe, people saying how much, how they're just here now, they're taking down the Steel Brigade. Like, first off, I'm sorry. Listen, Bobby B put that meme up there with Sid from Toy Story. No, it wasn't Sid. It was Andy, I think, dropping the Steel Brigade, and it said, "I don't want to play with you anymore." And the people on there were just like pissed off and he's like, "Dude, you just can't take a joke. Like, honestly, you can't take a fucking joke." I mean, it's just everything is joking here, I can like both lines. But you do have the Hasbros that are already making excuses for what's happening with the Sky Striker. Now, again, we waited over a year. You took our money. There should not have been an issue. This is as bad as what's going on with Super 7. And let's be honest, Super 7 has the exact same problem, too. How many of those guys that I see review stuff, is it Toy Bro? He gets free stuff from them. I don't think I've ever heard him say a bad word about it. Kyle, it pained him to say a bad word about that Andre the Giant that looks nothing like Andre the Giant, because I believe he gets free stuff from them also. But you got to be honest. Hookers, is that what you call it? You know what? That's actually a good line for a good word for a lot of these YouTubers. That they're just hookers, taking stuff, not really like they're gonna push it out there. But you have these Hasbros, and again, there are a lot of them, and I understand it. A lot of people call Chris from the Full Force a shill. Right here, Anthony. I rip apart both lines for customs. Don't give a shit. Yeah, do it and have your own fucking opinion on them. It's okay. It's okay to have your opinion that you don't like something. I don't have a problem telling you that I think that Bazooka's legs are bullshit. Those boots are not made to go on the gung ho and Roadblock's legs. They're not, and they don't fit properly. And there's a good chance that you take another body, another leg, and they're going to fit perfect. But I have no problem pointing that out. And I'll be honest, I have conversations with Lenny on Instagram from time to time. All right. But I'm polite about things. I ask him questions. I'm not going to be belligerent towards him. We already went over that a couple weeks ago, right? The way adults should talk to other people, especially like in the industry. If you want something, you want to find out something, don't be belligerent. Don't be an asshole. All right. This world has enough assholes. I'm an asshole. I'm okay with that. But, but you have these guys that are the Hasbros, and they're going to, what was it? There it is. Doesn't want to upset his buddy Letty. I don't think that I said that at all. I also don't message Bobby telling him that it's bullshit that he's telling me that he's had less than 1% of his ankles fucking snap. Because that's bullshit. Because that comes out to be like 25. And guess what? BBTS hasn't even got their fucking stock of those things. But there's a way to talk to people when you're talking to people in general. There's another way to point out, hey, you know what? This is an issue. I had no problem messaging and saying, hey, you know what? that Cobra officer, the O-ring, his leg doesn't fucking go more than 45 degrees. It didn't get fixed. It didn't get fixed when it came time for that stinger, and it uses the same mold, and that pisses me off because there's no reason why the old ring shouldn't fucking be 90 degrees. So anyway, and then let's get to the Valashills. The Valashills are even bigger, to be honest, because they are so. Some of them are such big YouTubers. So we'll talk about Analog Toys, and he recently did a video talking about the issues with Hasbro and their quality control. And here's the issue with that video. I agree 100 fucking %. Everything that he said about Hasbro and the quality control and the shit they're giving us is bullshit. Here's my problem. It's like a 12-minute video, and a third of that video was to blow fucking Bobby and say how great his customer service was. That is a Valashill right there. He talked about when Bobby had issues with the hips breaking, he took care of it. He did. When these ankles broke, he got ahead of it. Yes, he did. He went all this stuff that Bobby did for customer service that Hasbro doesn't. But you know what he never once said? He never once said, this is what Mattel does. This is what McFarlane does. This is what Boss Fight Studios. Ooh, wait a minute. They're not allowed to talk about Boss Fight Studios. This is what Four Horsemen does. It was specifically a video to say, this is how Hasbro handles shit, but this is how the almighty Bobby handles stuff. So this guy does this wonderful video that I agree with 100%. But then we get to the Bobby blowing part. And I'm like, I cannot believe a damn word you say. Like, you have no credibility whatsoever. And you're pretty big. You're way bigger than I am. Let me tell you that much. And I sit there and I don't get it. So you have all these Valashills, and there's lots of them. Like, you cannot go on there and not listen to them. And of course, once Bobby said something about fucking Lenny, they all had to sit there and start making their fucking memes because God forbid any of them think for themselves. Well, Bobby said it, it must be true. I'm not saying Bobby lied. All I know is that I'm hearing one side of the story. But all these memes start fucking popping up. And they're all jumping on board. And I mentioned to you guys before, the reason why people love Bobby, and I get it. All right? I get it about. Again, I used to do stuff for Detroit sports media, just for a small radio station. Ran a message board, got to know some of the people. When you get to know some of the people that talk to you, they talk to the other people, you get to hear things. You get to really like those people because they're up front. They tell you stuff, you love it. Bobby goes out there. He's an owner of a company. He says what he thinks, and I think that's awesome. Except for I believe when you run a company, or let's say a country, remind you of someone, you can't just say whatever the fuck you want. Now, I would much rather Bobby say what he says rather than, let's say, someone like Brian Flynn who just says, well, you know what? You know, the factory was done with us. We were done with the factory. What are we supposed to do? Well, you're supposed to fucking eat the cost and fix the shit. So, I just want to say, like, these Valashills, and I mentioned this earlier, Valashills and Hasbros, they're not looking in mirrors when they talk about it. They're looking in a window at each other. Not even realizing what they're doing. Okay, but this is true amongst everything. Okay? And when you talk about a billion-dollar corporation, independent company improving Hasbro, okay, first off, that's a greater than independent company improving Hasbro. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. That's what competition is. And another thing that you have to understand, you guys always talk about a billion-dollar company, which is really aggravating because, yes, they are. But GI Joe is not a billion-dollar brand. They have a brand that have a section of that budget. Don't get me wrong, it's still big. It's still bigger than what Bobby's is, and there is no doubt that they are looking at that and they're taking cues. Because guess what? A small company, to make it big, to do good, has to make good product. Because when Bobby came out, he started making stuff for $32. $32 is a pretty good price now. Eventually, those prices are going to go up. He's already insinuated it. All right? He said he's going to hold off as long as possible, just like McFarlane, and I'm glad for that. There is no competition between the two when it comes to that. But one company can make another company better. And it doesn't matter how small the company is. It doesn't matter how big the company is. All right? That's what competition is. That's like saying, hey, you guys are all watching football, right? Mr. Irrelevant for the 49ers. Quarterback. Last pick of the draft. Right? He fucking took that ball and he fucking ran with it. Well, guess what? He's not a fucking millionaire. He's not the guy that signed the 20, 30, 40, $50 million contract. Give me 1 second here. Dog's going fucking nuts. You think I'd have kids here that would hear him, but they don't. All right? Hey, buddy. So anyway, that's my feeling on a small company helping out a big company or making a big company better. They are. But you know what? They're not the only ones. They're not the only ones that have done it. It's been like this forever. That's just how life is. And you know what? Is it right? Is it right that Hasbro takes advantage of people? No, not at all. It's fucking bullshit. But I think we all know that's what billion-dollar companies do. They take advantage of people. And that's why I said, in this day and age, the best thing. All right, backwards here. I want. Okay, let's address this really quick. Did you listen to what he said? He didn't spend $53,000 on a mint on Car Desert Rat. What he did was he was looking at it when his wife came in, and he flipped open and said, "Oh, I was looking for a car for you." He bought a car along when he bought this. That's why he said it was $53,000. It's one of those swerves, you know. It's one of those like little swerves where you're like, "Oh, okay, I really spent this much." All right, I didn't expect to go off on a rant like that. I really didn't. One salty soul, you are new here. These are great times for collectors. Welcome to the Val Hasbro. Listen, all I want is good product. I don't care who it's from. And again, I'll say it again, like, there is no reason why Hasbro should do what they're doing. All right? You can make your line however you want. I think this plastic-free package is going to blow up in their face. It already is. I don't expect it to last. Let me say right now, 83 people watching right now. Thank you. This is the largest that we've ever had. And it's definitely fucking has me stoked. 83. Like, we're going to go off topic in a second because I want to address how big the show has really gotten, how big the channel has gotten in such a short amount of time, which I didn't expect. But anyway, so that's really, I mean, that's how I feel. Listen, I'm a small little YouTube channel. I know that I probably started making some waves. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just voicing my opinion. And again, I'm one of those people, and I've always been like this in my entire life. I'm going to say what I think. I don't always say everything that I think. That's always been what I've said to people when they go, "God, you just say whatever you think." I go, "Fuck, dude. If I told people half the shit I think, you'd be like, I need to get the fuck away from this guy." All right? But I really do think that people are scared to just speak their mind. Nobody wants to upset Bobby Because guess what? When they do, that 3POA is going to fucking annihilate you on their fucking show. And then on all their little fucking Facebook pages, they're going to do the fucking same thing. All right? They will fucking come down on you. They will try and fucking hammer you. And a lot of people are too scared of it. They're fucking scared that they're going to take it. Again, I'm a fucking YouTuber that buys fucking toys. I started doing reviews. People seem to enjoy it. The honesty that I gave you guys. And then somehow I came here and I started doing live streams. And I started with 130 views the first time. And it has just picked up in the past 3 months. And there's a lot of reasons to that. But then, okay, so anyway, that's me going sidetracked. But I understand what's going to happen. But now you get on the Hasbros. Now, there are way more Hasbros than the Valashills. Valashills are just very, very prominent right now. They are very boisterous. They have some really big YouTubers that can really try and annihilate people. And you get to the Hasbros. The people that want the free product. The ones that don't want to say, yeah, there is an issue with the landing gear. But hey, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Well, it is a big deal. You just pay $250 for something for them to produce it properly. And then they shipped it out and it's not. And now no one has a fucking way to fix it. Because from what I understand, there's supposed to be 18,000 and some, right? So how are they going to fix it? Was it manufactured wrong? Are you going to trash the ones that people are going to send back? Or are people just going to do the rubber band and pull it back so it stays up in the air? You shouldn't have to do that. The people that will obviously, they'll sit there and they'll make excuses for warped weapons. Listen, if I'm gonna hammer Gridiron Studios that every fucking weapon I get from theirs it is warped, you better believe I'm gonna say the same thing for Hasbro. All right, when I can get a Mark II toys here, right, for $16-17, and it's in this nice little sleeve here, right? Look at this. Nice little sleeve that's going to keep them straight. Why can't everyone else do the same thing? Well, we know why Hasbro can't, because it's plastic. Plastic kills the environment. Except for the issue is that most of the stuff that people are collecting, they're not throwing in landfills. All right? But you do have the Hasbros, and they're going to make excuses for them no matter what. No matter what. Emily, okay, Chaz is here. All right. Emily won't even like any of my nice comments. I say, okay, well, because she's probably seen some of your memes. Although you do have the best memes. There's no doubt about that. So I guess that's my feeling on the Valashills versus the Hasbros. And God knows, like, I don't ever go to His Tank. I mean, I know what it is. I've been there. I don't go to His Tank. And I've had people actually say, oh, dude, I saw your video on His Tank. That's cool. Listen, more exposure for me. It's awesome. But I do hear exactly what the 3POA will say about the His Tank. Not the, well, they'll say shit about the His Tank too. It's funny because if Bobby comes out with a fucking vehicle that costs $300, they'll be all like, oh man, all over themselves going, this is such a great fucking deal. I have a feeling that thing may come out to be a little bit too expensive. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I don't make toys. I just buy them. So anyway, that's it. That's my Hasbros versus the Valashills. They're the same fucking person, not looking in a mirror, but looking at a mirror and looking through a window at each other, not even realizing that they're the same fucking person. Okay, so 84 people in the chat. It'd be awesome if we get 100. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I am pretty stoked right now. Like, I hope this isn't a one-off. This is pretty good too, because I'm going up against again, I consider my favorite fucking toy YouTube show. 85 people. Look at this. Look at this. So let's take a let's. Do you guys don't want? I can't keep going on. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta have some sort of a voice. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Action Force vehicle is a pipe dream. I think that it is in some ways. Because I think it's going to be expensive. I really do, especially for what he wants to do. And his figures are already more expensive than what a base Joe was when that his tank was done. So it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be hard to do, and it's understandable. Let me explain something. When it's snuck out that the HasLab was going to be a his tank, there was one guy all over the all over the Joe forums, dude. Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. He said he won't make it if it's not affordable. But again, that goes back to the fact that you can't talk about it and talk when you don't know what it's going to cost, and you can't rip on other things. I think Bobby does a really good job, and I think Captain K, I think you're getting the wrong impression that I don't like Valivers. I buy all their shit. I have my complaints. I've voiced my displeasure with certain things, but I still buy their product. But anyway, back to the his tank. I stand on fucking track. That doesn't happen very often. But anyway, there was a guy all over the place. I can 3D print one for $250, and it has working treads. I guarantee you that HasLab will not. Well, guess what? I have 2 3D printed his tanks. I've done some 3D printing. I did not print those. My buddy did. And I can tell you that $250 for a 3D printed his tank is actually probably a really good price, and probably about what it would cost to make it, to ship it, and send it out and everything. But I can tell you what, when that fucking HasLab dropped for $300, that guy went away. Because he knew at that point no one's going to pay $250 for this tank, when right now they can get that for $300 and so much more. But when people see something like that, they don't take into consideration all the times that 3D printing may fail. They don't take into consideration how much time it's going to take on his end or on her end, whoever it is. So when I look at $300 for a vehicle that's a HasLab, I'm okay with it because it's a once in a lifetime thing. I don't want, just like the Sky Striker. If I see the Sky Striker again, I'll be pissed. If they remake this Sky Striker, I will be absolutely pissed because we paid for this mold. They should not be redoing it. This thing's jumping back and forth. And when it jumps from Wi-Fi back to, when just Wi-Fi, I like blank. So I have to look over here and see if it's actually working. It hasn't dumped, which is really good. And I've calmed down. I don't even know why I'm upset. Why the fuck am I upset? I don't get nothing from any of these fucking companies. None at all. I just speak my mind. But I think $300 is something that's very reasonable when it comes to a 6-inch vehicle. I don't want a lot of vehicles for classified. They take up too much space, they cost too much money, and they could kill the line. And I'll say this again. People don't want to believe me, but those fucking MOTU vehicles that are like $32 sit on Target shelves and will not sell till they clearance them. They're now sitting at Ollie's, Panther, the Wind Raider, and Battle Cat for $20 and under because people will not buy them. And here's the whole thing. That Wind Raider, that Stridor for MOTU Origins, guess what? It fits Masterverse. It fits 7-inch figure. So it's actually dual purpose. So someone wants to put a $125 vamp out there. People will buy it. No, they won't. No, they fucking won't. Let's see. Will R says, one thing we can credit Bobby for is cause of him, Hasbro has given us blast effects, Sarge figure, now steel core. Okay, I've already addressed this. I don't believe that. Okay, first off, Sarge was signed, and he talked about it. Sarge was signed before he did the Valashills deal. So Sarge was already coming. When you look at the Steel Corps, the Steel Brigade, this was something that was pointed out on the Foosh, and he talked about how they have the Joe Pro, which they've started to get rid of. It's also on the old body. I think those things were designed a while ago. I don't think they want to do a green shirt because they're so damn boring. Now, I want a green shirt. You probably all want green shirts. I think they were going to do the Steel Brigade anyway. Steel Corps, whatever. I think Steel Corps sounds stupid. All I think is Corpse. That stupid, cheap-ass fucking thing. I think those things were done. I think they were holding off on them because of the Steel Brigade and didn't want it to be so close. There's no doubt. And listen, before someone goes back and finds stuff that I said and say, you said you didn't believe that. Well, you're right, I didn't. I really didn't think that Hasbro and the GI Joe team was paying too much attention to Bobby. I didn't realize that he had become as much of a thorn in their side as he had. He made it very personal. And frankly, I don't care. Because I think, in actuality, we're getting better figures from both. Bobby bought it. I think he said he bought it in 2019, 2018. He was tipped off. He talked about this. He was tipped off by someone at Hasbro that they had let the name expire. So he bought it. And the guy that I think he said told him he knew that was his favorite figure. So he said, hey, they let that lapse. So he bought it. But they've talked about it. They're working on these figures a year in advance before they show them. And if you just look at everything that Steel Corps has, Beachhead's body, Lady J's legs, single pin or single jointed arms, Joe Pro. That tells me that design, I think, has been there for quite some time. I think they've kind of waited, but Bobby is not going to give up on dumping out Steel Brigades. From the Night Ops one to the reissue to the female, that I think they just kind of finally had to say, hey, you know what? We got to let it go. Cool. I don't really care. I guarantee you Bobby's probably going to have a pack of them because they look like what he loves. I swear to God, it's like you guys know all I got to do is look at this. And I'm going to go off. I'm going to try. So I'm going to. Oh, so I don't know if it was Mark Weber. I don't think so. I don't know if Mark was still working there then. I truly have no idea. But someone did. I mean, he did say someone did tip him off. It could have been Mark for all I know. The truth is, anyone could go look. I mean, the fact that Hasbro lets any of their IPs, like their names, fucking lapse is a joke. Now that is where I come in and say, you are a $1 billion company. You should never let any of your trademark names lapse, especially Steel Brigade. That's a pretty big figure back in the day. I never had one. Honestly, surprisingly, I never had one. But anyway, so I'm done with that. I'm going to talk about the channel really quick. I just started looking over here. I'm like, I never move my arms like that. I got it on my tablet here so I can make sure it's not jittery and everything. So anyway, I do want to mention the channel, and I had mentioned it earlier. Listen, when I started this, really the whole reason why I had started doing reviews, and I mentioned this before. I started doing reviews, just comparing the GI Joe figures. Then I pick up some other figures and I review them. It really started becoming a channel when I reviewed the Valashills figures, because so many people said they hate them, like them, whatever. And then it kind of grew and kind of grew. And then I started watching more stuff about how to grow a YouTube channel, because I wanted to monetize so I could see if I could offset a little bit of what I'm purchasing. Let me just say this: what I have made from YouTube, I'm not even coming close to covering what I have spent in the past year, or pretty much even this year yet. But I struggled to hit that 1,000 mark so you can monetize. And let me tell you, I walked in the skate park and I was sitting at 999, and I'm like, dude, any of you have a YouTube channel? And one of the kids working there is like, yeah, I do. I'm like my fucking channel, just so I can start the monetizing process. And then I was kind of like, well, how fast is it going to grow from here? You know, I've struggled to get to 1,000. That was the end of October. And as I have watched the channel grow, and you started to see little leaps and bounds. And quickly looking here, I pull this up, and so as of this month of February, I know this is no Viper Island. There's no Viper Island numbers, okay? But this month already, not including the 42 new subscribers. So thank you to everyone. I worked with Articulated Chad on how to set up, how to do a live stream. He walked me through everything. And I did that giveaway. I did one, and then I did the giveaway just to try and get my feet wet. I tried to pull people in. And I was really excited to see how many people were there. So I got to say this. When I go back and I look at, I'm pulling everything out. The thing, I'm not ignoring anyone. When I go here and I look at the live here, and I look at the numbers here, I just scroll back to when we started. And the first live stream, not the first one, because if you're on the first one, I couldn't figure out how to get the music to fucking stop playing. So I had to stop it. First one had 163 views. That was 2 months ago. All right. It was Black Friday. So we jumped up to 175, 168, 202, 226, 254, and then we jumped into the 300s. And I say we because I'm not doing this alone. All of you guys are honestly helping me like you wouldn't believe. I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I don't think I could do this 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, or a week. Once a week, maybe a throw in here. Maybe when some stuff drops, I'll do another live stream to talk about stuff. But we jumped up to 337, 372, 368. We hit 571 the week before. I'll explain this. How did we hit? Well, in total views now. 571 in total views the week before the giveaway. I mean, racking my brain. I'm like, what the fuck did I talk about? Like, I thought people would be here for the giveaway. Now, the giveaway did 400 people, or 400 views now. But at the time, it was over 200. So I just want to say the channel has grown beyond what not beyond. Listen, I have big aspirations. I want to do more. I built a merch store. I want to put more stuff out there because it helps out the channel. It helps everything out. And listen, I am very transparent with you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to act like, hey, you know what? If you use this entertainment earth, hey, just do it. Listen, it's going to help me and the channel out. Everything that I'm getting from YouTube right now is really going to back paying the toys. And my channel has grown because of the reviews that I've done. I understand that. The people that are doing live streams all the time, it's harder for them, I think, to grow, where I have this consistent pace pushing out new reviews all the time. But the fact that the GI Joe and the Valashills do such big numbers for me. The gridiron stuff did huge numbers for me. And not just huge numbers in like when you see what they are, when I look at how many subscribers I gain from them. But obviously doing the live streams, everyone here has learned to, not learned, has enjoyed. All right. And here it is. Listen, I'm not looking at, thank you. Let's see here. You should show a GI Joe movie on your channel. Maybe I will. Maybe I will, and I'll have 15,000 subscribers with no drama. But no, everything that you guys have done, I lose my train of thought really easily. But doing the videos, you know, and seeing everything, I'm not really reading the comments. It's too hard. When it was small and there were so few of you, I don't want any of you to think. And I know I make the joke. I make the joke about if you want me to answer a question, you gotta ask it in the form of a super chat. One of the reasons why the bigger shows tend to only answer super chats, and Articulated Chat and I actually kind of talked about it, that there are some shows that will only answer super chats. One of the reasons why so many of the bigger channels only answer like super chats is because they pop up prominent, and if someone's paying, obviously someone's going to help you out. You want to be the one. You want to make sure you read their comment, answer their question, and because it shows up prominent, it's kind of like, all right. But as I'm talking here, and I'm doing this on my own, here we have started OnlyFans. Listen, dude, nobody wants to see that. All right, nobody wants to see that. I don't even think I want to see that. But it's hard to watch all of this. I read through these comments, believe it or not. Thank you. Listen, I think about this way more than you guys probably realize. I drive all day. I fix copy machines, and I'm driving point A to point B. I watch YouTube channels on how to grow a channel. So the merch store is one of those things. I heard about it. You know, obviously you see them, but I didn't realize how easy it actually was to do. The Entertainment Earth thing just kind of popped up. The Amazon thing I had done a while ago. I pushed out so much stuff, and I realize right now there's not nearly as many deals as when you are going into the holiday season. So that's why you're not seeing me post as many links. There's not that many deals going on right now. But all that stuff definitely does help the channel. I'm very transparent about it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Everything definitely helps out. So when I see what the channel is, where it's grown, 1,615 subscribers. I wanted to hit 2,000 by the end of this year. At this rate, I should hit 2,000 possibly at the end of next month. And you know what? I just wonder where are all these people coming from, man? Like, I love it. And every time I read through these comments, every time I see names, I'm seeing new names pop up. And I mentioned it before. I'm a huge Jim Rome fan. If you're into sports, you probably know who Jim Rome is. He does a show on his own. He talks about how he's like, dude, he's like having guests and everything all the time, or taking calls. That's lazy radio. Reading all the comments, it's kind of lazy. And I don't mean that you guys aren't important, because you guys are, but if I just sat here and read all your comments and didn't have too many opinions, well, then what the hell are you here for? You can go read that on any message board, any Facebook, you know, any Facebook page, you know. But yeah, so anyway, thank you to everyone, all the new subscribers. 5 subscribers since we started. Probably my rant, I don't know. But it is awesome to see how many likes we got so far. Listen, The likes, I know it kind of sounds like it's this big ego boost. 91 likes. Dude, you got to be kidding me. That is fucking awesome. I think we get 100. You know I'll go for like 3 fucking hours. That is awesome. That means 91 different people. 90. I like my own stuff because it helps. Listen, 100% honest here. I always like my own Facebook. I always like my own YouTube because no one can see who likes it, but it also helps YouTube push out using the algorithm. I do not like my own Facebook post, and you should not like your own Facebook post or your own Instagram post because everyone can see it. Yes, I like my own Facebook post. I know it because I posted it. Yes, I like my own Instagram because I put it out. I don't need to hit the like button, but this is different. It pushes it out, and you guys can't see that I liked it. Anyway, man, look at this. Like, this is really, man, I am so stoked right now. Again, channel is growing. You guys are part of it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you without you guys, it's not here. Don't get me wrong. I could talk all day. I think we've already established that. And I've talked to Matthew numerous times. At first, the first couple shows, I was like, maybe I really do need a co-host. You can bounce things back and forth. What I am realizing is going over the show notes, letting him handle the chat, keeping it going down the same, going down the same. I have to figure out how to get him where he can set it up, where he can star certain stuff for me, so I can know what to talk about. But anyway, that's it with that. Thank you guys. Listen, this is our channel. I've mentioned it before. The skate park that I go to, Modern Skate, greatest skate park ever. People will say, well, it's not my skate park. Well, bullshit. George may own it, but this is our skate park. If we don't take care of it, who will? If you guys don't take care of me in the community, then I have nowhere to go. Like, I have nothing to push out. This is our channel, and I appreciate every single one of you. Maybe some of you a little more. And the crazy thing is, here I'm looking at this. What you said? There's 92 likes. There's a few people that I talk to all the time that aren't even here. Articulated Chad wasn't here today. At least I didn't see him. Travis is, I think, doing. I think he works tonight, so he's not watching it right now. So this is absolutely awesome, and I understand the thumbnail that probably really people wanted to hear. They probably wanted me to blast one or the other. I had no intention of blasting one or the other. I kind of want to talk about how they're both full of shit. All right. And if I could think of a name for the Super 7 groupies, that's a good one. Super 7 groupies, I'd blast them. Again, how many people are getting free Super 7 stuff, and they're honestly trying to tell us how good a figure is, and I'm like, dude, that fucking Andre the Giant looks nothing like Andre. And I know because I was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 people when I watched Hulk Hogan pick up that big, mean, ugly giant and slam him to the ground, all right? So I know what Andre the Giant looks like. Really like this before he died. I mean, he probably doesn't remember me. Or that Green Ranger. Like, I'm embarrassed of that stuff. But hey, you know what? The Super 7 groupies, they're all about, in the sevens. They're all about pushing out that product because they get it for free. And Brian Flynn seems like a really nice guy. Brian Flynn, in my opinion, when I hear him, he's so nice. You can clearly tell he's the guy that will stab you in the back the moment he can. You know what? I wish I would have. I wish that would have been absolutely awesome. That would have been fucking cool as shit. All right, so let's talk about some other shit because you know what? Usually we go. I'm thinking about maybe just doing this a 3-hour show. I don't know. I can talk for 3 hours. sometimes we may not make it. I do want to say next week I probably won't be starting until 9:30. I'll let you guys know for sure. I got something I got to do. I believe it's next week for my son for his school. And it's at like 7:30, so I don't know how long it's going to last. I'll probably be coming in at like 9:30. But it will be, I'll make sure you guys know. So anyway, let's talk about some other stuff. I do have some ideas about if I want to do another live show. But I did want to mention when the whole "You People" came up. Has anyone? Tell me in the comments. Has anyone watched on Netflix the movie "You People"? I'm interested to see this. I watched it this weekend, and it was fucking hilarious. Like, honest to God, that movie had me in tears. Just in tears. It hit every single stereotype that you could imagine, and it was absolutely awesome. So Backwoods wants to go for 3 hours. Again, it is something that I can clearly do. It's something I can do. Now, today I might be kind of pushing it because I'm going to be going over 50 minutes. And it's kind of funny because I'm looking at the numbers here. I can see the numbers are starting to drop as I stop having as I stop with my rant here. So Baldy said he watched it last night. Dude, it is so damn funny. Eddie Murphy is at his best. I gotta say, the fact that was a Netflix movie was awesome. Yes, Jonah was awesome in it. He was so good. But not only was the movie hilarious, it had so many cameos from known people. All right, so I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm gonna do. I will do a poll to see if people want this to be a 3-hour show, which means that we will start at 9 and we will end at midnight for me. Just so you guys know, I am so amped up after this. It's almost like I'm done fucking working out. I won't go to sleep till like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So Tuesdays are a rough morning. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. The man over there, I gotta check it out. So here's what we'll just kind of quickly. I'm gonna quickly go over it. I'm not gonna tell you because I want you to watch it. Okay, I want you guys to watch it. I don't want to spoil anything for you since it just came out. But I gotta say, the movie is hilarious. It hits so many stereotypes. It is not what I expected it to be whatsoever. It is such a good comedy, produced well. If you don't enjoy it, then you are going to be. There is no 12-hour stream confirmed. I'd have to get a bottle so I could pee in it every now and then. I have to bring up my Aldi Pop. Maybe a little ice cooler. It is kind of funny because so you guys don't see, obviously. Anyone who's done live streams, they know. So up top here, it tells me how many people were in, how long I've been going. So I can kind of see when it starts dropping and when it's going. And clearly, it was going pretty good when I was going on with the rant. But I gotta say, right now, it's sticking around, and we're at 68 people right now, and we are 2 hours and almost 15 minutes into it. So there is something that I'm doing that you guys enjoy, which I think is awesome because I don't think my ex thinks I'm funny at all, but you guys obviously find some sort of entertainment in what I have to say. But you know what I did have, and I thought might be actually kind of fun. And again, it would have to be me committing to another live stream, is maybe making you guys do some homework, picking a movie, like an 80s movie, maybe an early 90s movie, some B movie, or having everyone watch it and then do a live stream and just kind of fucking talk about it. I was thinking about that today because there's so many of these movies, like we get on these streams and we start talking about it. Okay, so I don't know. don't know if this was on Chad's or if I mentioned it. I think don't hold me to this. Don't hold me to this. I did have an idea that I kind of wanted to do this year, where I kind of like challenged other YouTubers in the same genre to do it, but I I wasn't really at the point. But I kind of had the idea that maybe come, let's say, end of October, early November, doing a 24-hour live stream. All super chats go to Toys for Tots. Because listen, I don't make a lot of money. I make a decent living. My kids have everything they need. They have Christmases. There's nothing that they need for Christmas that they don't get. There's a lot of families out there that don't. And I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe that's something that I could do to help give back. I'm assuming by the time that rolls around, I'll be a little bit bigger. Listen, don't think I didn't notice that on the Nerdzoic Awards, that my name was not up there for best toy YouTube personality. Don't think I didn't notice that. It's on there. It's on my checklist. This going into next year, I better be on that fucking list. Because I think I've ruffled enough feathers that people know who the hell I am. Anyway, what else do you guys want to talk about? Is there any other toy news that is out there? See, this is kind of where like I need your guys' input. All right. Let's see here. I have the perfect 80s movie for that. What would that be? Because I like movies that, it would have to be something, again, this is just an idea that I'm throwing out. I don't think I can do it every week. But I thought it'd be a good thing. And one thing that I've learned, one thing that I have learned is that if you want to be successful when it comes to live streams, you have to pick a date, you pick a time, and you go live every single week at that time. Sure, you can miss some, but let's be honest. You have to be ready to go all the time. Let's see what if the offer was there, would you be a guest on the 3POA? I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, as long as it works into my schedule, and believe me, I'm not a real busy person. I don't really have a problem discussing things. You have to know what your audience is and where you go and how to be presentable to specific people. I don't think that anything that I've ever said about the 3POA and everything is anything that is unjust. And they may not agree with it, but I don't think that it's unjust. Now I may say some things in private or in my head that would be a little crossing the line. But to be honest, I'm not on here to make friends, but I'm also not on here to make enemies. I guess that's the best way to put it. Because when you say you're not on here to make friends, listen, I've already made friends. I made friends with Chad, Travis, different guys like that. There's guys that I like. I like Chris from the Full Force. I don't think Chris from the Full Force really cares for me that much. He reads less and less of my comments all the time. I think he gets kind of aggravated with me. Matthew and I have discussed this a few times. But I don't always watch the 3POA. Sometimes I catch it. Sometimes I don't. It's not appointment viewing for me. It's just not. Although I will say this, I did catch Ryan wearing a Good Riddance hat, which is a punk rock band. So I was kind of impressed by that. I'm assuming it's the band. Anyway, going back here, American History X. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about a movie I don't want to talk about. Is American History X. All right. As great of a movie as that is, yeah. I'd rather talk about funny ass shit if we were to do something like that. See, right here, Rad. Okay, Rad is one I would love everyone to watch. Same with Midnight Madness, which is Michael J. Fox's first movie before he had the J. It was Michael Fox. Pee Wee Herman's in it. Some really good ones. Again, this is something I got to think about. I feel like, hey, I could get a bunch of you guys would probably be happy to watch. But yeah, that's yeah. See, look, listen. My kids and I went to St. Louis, and I had at least 3 or 4 people make a comment about my Rad hat. And not because it said Rad, but because they knew the movie. We were eating hamburgers here in Michigan, and some guy's like, "Is that a Rad hat?" Yep. I was at the air show. Someone saw the Rad shirt and said something. I have so many people mention to me about Rad that it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If I did something, I'd want it to be something maybe not just a comedy, but something that's kind of classic. Better Off Dead. All right. You guys have all seen Better Off. You know what's everyone has seen Better Off Dead, but you know what people haven't seen? Is One Crazy Summer. And One Crazy Summer is absolutely hilarious. It's done by the same people, has the same animation, but everyone knows my $2. All right, everyone knows I want my $2. And he goes skiing down. That's what Hasbro should do. They should make the little fucking paper boy to go up against Snow Job on his bike with the fucking skis and shit. Okay, so a couple things. Hold on, wait a minute. I want to talk about a couple things here. Airplane. Oh, I hit Spaceballs. Spaceballs is awesome. Here's my problem with Spaceballs. The good guys aren't that funny, but the bad guys make up for it. Like, all those guys are hilarious. Airplane, seriously, one of the fucking funniest movies you're ever going to fucking see. Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. I just introduced my kids to Weekend at Bernie's. And oddly enough, I've kind of used it to start talking to a girl, which is kind of funny. Goonies, something I have never seen. I mean, I know about it, but I've never seen it. All right, give me 1 second here. You want to go outside? All right, go. 1 second, guys. All right. You say hi to everyone, all right? See, right now, my kids should probably be in bed sleeping, but they don't go to bed anyway. They don't go to bed anyway. Yeah, okay, so Weird Science is one that I want to introduce my kids to. So that would be, and I love Real Genius. I have introduced the kids to Real Genius. Val Kilmer is absolutely amazing in Real Genius. I think Real Genius, the popcorn scene, all the stuff they loved. The Last Starfighter, that is not as, you have to buy that. I don't think there's any free services that have that. Again, these are just an idea that I had. I don't know how much you guys would be into it. It seems like a lot of you guys would be. Stuff like I don't think I've ever seen Top Secret. Fletch, I just saw for the first time. Introduced the kids to it. My daughter did not find it funny. My son found it hilarious. Real American Hero. Are we talking GI Joe or are we talking Hulk Hogan? Oh man. Okay, so it seems like you guys might be down for something like that. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. National Lampoon's. Let me tell you something. Did anyone see the remake of National Lampoon's Vacation? That was one of those movies. It's now like 7 years old, over 7 years old. My ex and I watched it, and I gotta say, I had tears in my eyes laughing when that rental van of his starts blowing up. Oh my god, I was dying. You didn't like the last National Lampoons, dude. I loved it. If that's what you're talking about, it was. I loved it. I was dying. That van, all the problems. Anchorman. Let me tell you something. I went and saw Anchorman with my old best friend and my kid's mom before we had kids, and she didn't laugh at all. And we were absolutely in tears. We were in tears laughing at it. Anchorman is so funny. I don't care what anyone says. It is one of the most hilarious movies that you will ever see. The pond scene is absolutely gross. Another underrated movie is Road Trip. I think Road Trip is pretty damn funny. Well, as funny as I think that the new National Lampoons is, I guess that's one we would not be watching. Dodgeball. Seriously, that one of the greatest movies ever. What about this? Is if we do it, we will start. I have to think of a format of how to do it. I think that if we do it, we have to start with the Kentucky Fried Movie. If you have not seen the Kentucky Fried Movie, and I know right now, Matthew's going to say he's seen it. People are going to start saying they've seen the Kentucky Fried Movie. Fist of Fury. It's amazing. It is the best skits. It's made by the same people that did Airplane. You Will Be Rolling. Big Jim Slade. All these ones from the Kentucky Fried Movie. Yes. It is and that is one that I will never be showing to my kids. They can watch it on their own at some time, but I will never sit down and watch the Kentucky Fried Movie with my kids. So I guess that seems like a decent idea. Something else that we can kind of that we can possibly do. Old School is another one. So good. There are some of these movies. Something About Mary. Something About Mary was a movie that I was so against seeing, and then I saw it, and I'm like, why did I not want to see this? Because that movie is honestly hilarious. It has been a while since I've seen Super Troopers. That was another one that I didn't really want to watch, and I watched, and I thought it was pretty funny. Same as Superbad. Is it Superbad? Yes. So here's the best. Where is it? Oh, yes. So the Bruce Lee and the Kentucky Fried Movie. I did not realize till I watched. Is it Fist of Fury? Because it's called Fist of Yen, but I don't remember if it was Fist of Fury. I did not realize how closely it was to what that plot was. So yeah, that's something to let me think about. You guys will probably harass me next week, going, "Hey, when are we gonna do this? When are we gonna do this?" But you gotta kind of have figure out a format of it. You know, you can't really watch it. I guess it'd be something that we'd have to just. But I love like watching or checking out maybe stuff that I've never seen before. Cheesy movies that were supposed to be good. Someone had mentioned Johnny Five. So Short Circuit, what a bad, awesome movie. Does anyone remember the Tom Selleck movie Runaway with the dude from Kiss? My mom always loved Tom Selleck, so we got to see all the Tom Selleck stuff. Dude, listen, we could do Kickboxer. We could do what's the other? Bloodsport. Essentially the exact same movie. Yes, Gene Simmons. There it is. Like, dude, like sometimes I wonder, like, did Matthew and I like grow up together and just not realize? Man, it seems like I guess a lot of people have seen Runaway. I didn't think anyone had seen it because anytime I've ever asked anyone about Runaway, they just look at me with this blank stare, and I'm like, dude, it had like metal spiders. Oh shit, man. That's the type of stuff I find hilarious. But yeah, I think maybe we can do something like that, not every week. I do eventually one day want to have a life, and when it gets nice out, I will be riding my skateboard a little bit more. So I'm definitely looking for that. But I think it's something that we can do. I think it's something maybe we can do like maybe once a month. A lot of again, Matthew said it best. Consistency is king. Like that is. There's no doubt that's how this show has grown. I'm looking now. I have 55. We're down to 55 people still watching. But 55 people 4 weeks ago, a month ago, I would have been like, holy shit, we hit 55 people. And now here we are 2 hours and 32 minutes into it. And I'm going, we still have 55 people. Or right now I'm saying, actually, we only have 55 people still watching. So it's progressing. And again, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the hell you guys enjoy about me watching what I do, but I'm glad you do. The Lost Boys, we could do Young Guns. I love Young Guns. It's been a long time since I've seen Lost Boys. What about this? Who's seen Once Bitten? I know Matthew's going to say he has. Sometimes I wonder if he's just Googling shit I say. If you haven't seen Once Bitten, I believe that it is Ace Ventura's first movie. I can't even think of his name. Yep, Jim Carrey. His first movie. My kids and I watched it, and I was kind of like, shit. Maybe I shouldn't have watched it with you guys. It's all about losing your virginity. But I remember as a kid watching it all the time, man. Like, I remember just one of the boys, where she flashes her tits, and I'm like, this thing's rated PG. Roman, come here, buddy. Come here. Say hi to everyone. Come up here. Come here. Say hi. Oh, look, here he is. Look, everyone's looking at you. Buddy. You've been in and out how many times? Oh, my goodness gracious me. This is what would make doing a 3-hour video or 3-hour long live stream hard. I think we could do it, though. Anthony, yes, I remember Cloak and Dagger, but I don't remember it. It took me forever to figure out what movie that was. But yes, I do remember it because it was on all the time as a kid. So I love like that. That's the type of stuff like going back in the 80s, maybe early 90s. Here's a movie that I absolutely love, and I know a lot of people may kind of roll their eyes at it, but Clueless. I think Clueless is one of the fucking funniest damn movies you could ever see. We watched it literally as teenagers. We went to the movie theater and saw it, and then dying, just absolutely dying. The skateboard scene when they all hold up to like number 10 or whatever it was, like, yeah, that's how they that's how they judge skate contests and everything. Clue is way better than Clueless. I've never seen Clue, so I can't say anything, but you're wrong. But you are wrong. Yeah, I have to refresh up on Cloak and Dagger. I definitely have to refresh up on Cloak and Dagger. But we could do any. I mean, again, we could do we could do Top Gun, because Top Gun is a very cheesy, real movie. I love Top Gun. Roadhouse, but I would love to do maybe movies like that so many people haven't seen. Like you get half the people that haven't seen it, or maybe that haven't seen in a long time. No, I've never seen Clue. Nope, never seen Clue. Do I even 80s? Do I even 80s? A little bit. Listen, I like punk rock, hardcore, some metal, 80s, and 60s. A little bit of rap. Some things here and there. Dude, listen, I was just never interested in. I hate when I go to highlight something and it scrolls away. I know what Goonies are. I've seen parts of it. I was never interested in it. But Clueless, we were teenagers that we went and saw it. So yes. I think there's a lot of, you guys are throwing up a lot of good movies. I think we just have to sit down. Maybe that's one where I can find a co-host and we can do something like that where we can kind of talk back and forth, see what the chat is saying. Again, you guys are giving me some good ideas here because I guess I don't spend enough time in front of screens and shit. Let's see, where are we with likes right now? I got to close this every time. I do like having the tablet here because I see what's going on. 104 likes. Look at that. If I was one of those posh YouTube stations, I could say, hey, if we hit 100 likes, I could do a giveaway. But I do it like, hey, here's a video, then show up, and then we'll spin it because I don't want to go through the pain and figuring everything out. I haven't seen Starship Troopers in a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. I know it's cheesy in a good way. I liked a lot of shit. I love 90210. I absolutely love 90210. A lot of people say, hey, you know what? What's your what do they call it? Not your dirty little secret, but I can't think of it. I've never seen American Werewolf in London. Let me tell you something. I've never seen American Werewolf in London, but the main actor of American Werewolf in London is the same actor that is the lead in Midnight Madness, which is truly one of the greatest movies of all time. And if you haven't seen it, well, you'll be in for a treat because we talked. I can't remember if we talked about it on when I was on with Chad, or we talked about it maybe last week. Listen. The movies that I'm saying I didn't see, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I have not seen them. I'm sure there's a lot of movies that we maybe haven't seen. It's not like I'm telling you I haven't seen fucking Star Wars. I somehow, like over the weekend when I was putting all my display back together, probably so I can just pull shit down again and do more reviews. I somehow got stuck on people doing first reactions to find out when Darth Vader tells Luke that he's his father. Some of them I have a hard time believing. Some of them were younger, okay. There was like one where it's like, there's clearly the dad. I thought it was focused on his wife, but it was really focused on his daughter. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Predator is a good one. Predator is a damn good one to do because there's so many good one-liners in that. Yeah, I could do Predator for sure. That's what Chad would love to do. I know Chad would love to do. But what was I at? Oh yeah, so I'm watching like this YouTube and their first reactions to when Luke says, or when Darth Vader tells Luke. And some were younger kids, but I have a hard time believing some of them. It's like why are you doing first reactions to watching Empire Strikes Back? It didn't make any sense. Like if it was less like, are we spoiling 90210? What are you talking about? 90210 is awesome. But like I can understand like if your girlfriend's never seen it and you're like, I'm gonna like film her like watching it. But I think most people like big movies, people fucking know. You know, like we all fucking know who the Godfather is. You don't have to see the Godfather to know, oh, well, he's the Godfather. Like you fucking know. Like you know Darth Vader is Luke's dad. So if it's like a younger kid and like, but I have a hard time believing anyone. First off, I don't know how anyone that's even close to being an adult hasn't seen Star Wars. It was on TBS like every single fucking week for the longest time. Okay, Tony's gonna get out of here. Look at that. See? I say, hey, should we do a 3-hour live stream? People say yes, and Tony's like, I'm out of here. And he's like 3 hours behind me. Red Dawn, I love Red Dawn. I watched the shit out of Red Dawn. And then the remake was actually done in my city. And I live in Michigan, so not only was it done in the city I live in, there was like airplane parts that were left in front of some guy's house. One of the copiers that we had, they were using it. They were renting it from us. So when I first went in there, I saw all this China shit. I believe it was China. But they changed everything. Maybe it was Russia. I don't remember. But it was all red. They had to figure out a different nation because we were having issues with them. Yeah. Oh, you know, it has been. Oh yeah. It's been a lot of times I've seen Over the Top. There's probably Cobra. Who's seen Cobra? All right. Cobra is awesome. Yeah, I forgot you do. Yeah, you. This guy is an actual real hero. I don't know if he's a real American. He's a real Mexican hero. Real white Mexican hero. Did I offend anyone? But this guy is a real hero here. All right. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Kind of switching topics. 1923 is really, really fucking good. And I need to know what's going to happen now. All right. They left a fucking cliffhanger. I'm like, I got to wait till fucking Sunday to see what the fuck happens. Ooh, Big Trouble in Little China. Is that Big Trouble in Little... I know Big Trouble in Little China. Is that the one where she says, I heard you coming this time? Or what was that from? Spencer is coming back. He may be fucking paddling, but he's not like fucking Jack from the Titanic. He's gonna fucking make it. Yes, Tulsa King. All right, I guess we're off topic here. Tulsa King is so fucking good. I wish that they put it in the same. They said it's not in the same universe as his other shows. What's the other show that does? That everyone knows. Matt, you've been there this whole time and you didn't say anything? Happy Monday night. Been hanging out. hanging out with some buddies for my birthday. We'll watch this from the beginning after it concludes. If you have 3 hours, good for you. I love having Matt. Matt is in like every single fucking stream that I watch, along with Payne. Again, if you're in any of the chats or you just watch and you always hear me say, yeah, Yellowstone. Yeah, Yellowstone. I don't know why I couldn't think of. I really wish they would have placed Tulsa King just in the universe. I don't want them like to meet or anything, but it would be cool just that. It always bothered me that Sons of Anarchy was not placed in the same universe as the Shield, which to me is still the greatest TV show of all time. Right? Greatest cop show of all time. The Shield. I've tried to watch it again. Ooh, you know what? You get okay. The Human Tornado, Dolomite. Not Black, just Dolomite. Who has seen the Human Tornado in Dolomite? Rudy Ray Moore. He fucking jumps off butt naked and fucking tumbles down. And as he's jumping, he goes, "You don't believe I did that?" And he goes backwards and he goes, "You watch this shit." And then he jumps and he fucking tumbling down butt naked. Like Matthew knows what I'm talking about. Like fucking we found that out as kids, and man, we were fucking dying. Because when you're like, when we always did when you went to the movie store, you'd always try and find a movie that came with the big thick case. So you knew that it was older. You knew it wasn't like high quality, whether it be the horror movies. We got stuck on Dolomite, and holy shit, Rudy Ray Moore opened us up to a whole new thing. And Dolomite and the Human Tornado, as there's so those are ones we would definitely have to address. God, there's so many right now. But yeah, when we start talking about the TV shows, I gotta say, if you like gangster shows, yeah, Tulsa King is absolutely awesome. The truth is, when it comes to Sylvester Stallone, he is a much better actor than I think people give him credit for. There's no doubt about that. He is a much better actor than people give him credit for, just because of the types of stuff that he does. And I think he's really showing his acting chops and how you can still stay on steroids when you're in your 70s to stay that big. I've never seen Harlem Nights. But I have a feeling it would probably be pretty damn good. Stop from my mouth. I can't say we wouldn't watch that because I've never seen it, but I know it is awful. And that's the one that Arnold Schwarzenegger says he tricked Sylvester Stallone into doing, because he had read for it and knew that it was awful, and that he tricked him into doing it. So I would love to actually like something like that. Like I've never seen like The Last Action Hero. I've seen parts of it where like Arnold's walking and he sees like Sylvester Stallone, who is the Terminator, and he reaches out and grabs his own arm and he's like, I think we have a good idea here. I've never seen Demolition Man. I've actually never seen Demolition Man, which is actually kind of surprising because it's that type of movie. Commando, one of my favorite movies of all time. Someone said this is not the commando weapon. I don't know. It looks like the commando gun at the beginning. I loved Commando. It was awesome. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger growing up, even before I ever worked out. Like before I knew what working out was or muscle, and I was just a scrawny little kid. I just loved how big and beefy. Hold on, buddy. Come here. Come here. We're gonna have to wrap it up in 1 second because he's gonna knock everything over. What oh yeah. So when I was, because I had to go pick up my Sky Striker. I had to go pick up my Sky Striker. You guys will laugh at this. I had to go pick up my Sky Striker from FedEx, right? So I come home. I live in a townhouse, so I gotta walk in, and I threw the Sky Striker up on my arm, and I was carrying my lunchbox, and you better believe I acted like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, carrying the chainsaw with the fucking log on his fucking arm. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. All right. So next week, next week, like I said, I'm gonna start at 9:30. My dog is flipping out. He needs me to take him out for some reason. I don't know why. So anyway, let's wrap this up. Again, you guys know everything. The Entertainment Earth. Again, 10% off anything if you use the code, and it's dropped in like every single link that I'm doing. I appreciate if you guys use it. Again, everything does benefit. The merch store. I have an idea. I'm trying to figure out how to do a specific shirt that I think might be kind of cool, that you guys might enjoy. Who knows? But yeah, check everything out. We're going to get out of here. There are some videos dropping tomorrow. I've already finished a couple videos. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It is almost midnight, but we'll discuss the 3-hour show. I just got to get my kids to fucking do some stuff. They just got to take care of my dog. This is the only time he acts up, honestly. Anyway, all right, guys. You guys have a wonderful night. I'm out of here. I hope everyone doesn't hate me at the end. How about the YouTubers don't hate me? All right? I'm out of here. Take care, guys.